Ah, Tinubu in trouble. See secret U.S. court final exposed to Atiku Abubakar before Supreme Court judgment. What secret is that? Is he not? Giving what is his name? Atiku Tinubu certificate from the Chicago State University. What the secret is that? These people self, they are tied to self can cause wahala. After learning that Atiku Abubakar has only 14 days to appeal the election petition tribunal's ruling at the Supreme Court of Nigeria using the requested records, a federal court in the United States rushing to complete Atiku Abubakar's request to subpoena President Bola Tinubu's academic record from Chicago State University, CSU. So according to court documents seen by People's Gazette, the United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois in Chicago has shifted the date of the in-person argument of Messrs. Abubakar, Tinubu, and CSU's attorneys from September 15 to September 12 in light of the request's urgent nature. Judge Jeffrey Gilbert stated that this matter is scheduled for an in-person hearing on the 12th of September 2023 at 1:30 p.m. due to additional considerations, the urgent circumstances raised by the application, and to take into account the potential for any appeal of the court's decisions. The docket indicated that a decision on the case would likely be made this week. So Mr. Gilbert strongly advised attorneys on both sides to attend the proceedings, contact the courtroom deputy if out of town, counsel wishes to make a telephone appearance. However, it is preferred by the court that any attorney who will be speaking during the hearing make an appearance in person. To avoid any additional delays, the court instructed CSU to submit any objections, if any, it may have, regarding the nature of the requested records, no later than 5 p.m. Okay, so September 11, 2001, the school had previously been given more time to raise concerns about the broadness of the subpoenas. Okay, is it 2001 or 2023? So an incensed Mr. Abubakar asked the U.S. Supreme Court to intervene hours after a panel of 5 appellate justices on Wednesday rejected petitions against the current president. In order to use the requested records to quickly file an appeal with the Nigerian Supreme Court, the court should hasten the issuance of the CSU subpoena, but the claimant's U.S. was to issue the subpoena quickly. So a recent change to the Supreme Court filing deadline for election-related appeals did not appear to be known by attorneys led by Angela Liu. Okay, so according to the revised electoral rules, the court has only 60 days to hear the case, deliberate, and render a decision. The chief attorney for Mr. Abubakar and the main opposition People's Democratic Party, Chris Uche, has clarified that an appeal of the tribunal's decision must be filed within 14 days, not the U.S. lawyers had previously argued. Okay. Because the deadline for submitting evidence has passed, Mr. Tinubu's attorneys contend that the records are no longer important. But Mr. Abubakar's attorneys cited the Supreme Court rule that, in their opinion, would be forced by the release and permits the introduction of significant evidence in special circumstances. Although Mr. Tinubu has been a prominent figure in Nigerian politics since he was first elected as the senator in the 1990s, little is known about his early life. There is still no information on the man's real name, parents, neighborhood, or where he attended elementary and secondary schools. His involvement in Chicago's dreadful drug trade that resulted in the seizure of his funds in the 1990s has further complicated his supporters' ability to successfully portray him as a scrupulous, affable politician with a long-standing commitment to democratic order in Nigeria. He claimed that he first worked as a top accountant at Deloitte and later as an executive at Mobil in the 1980s, where he allegedly made his money. Now, wow. So this is the situation with Tinubu here. Yeah, so the whole story is actually around the Chicago court trying to hasten the request for that Tinubu certificate from the Chicago State University, as Atiku Abubakar and PDP are likely to use that to support their case they're filing or the appeal they're filing at the Supreme Court following the judgment that has been issued by the Tribunal Appeal Court. Okay. So with all of these, the Chicago lawyers are working hard. The court is working hard and has given the Chicago State University opportunity to provide any form of objection, if there's any, to the subpoena or to the release of Tinubu's certificate for the court use. And they have to release that because Atiku needs that to support his appeal against the tribunal judgment in Supreme Court. Okay, so all of this put together, it means that when this writer is saying "see secret US finally exposed," there's no secret here have been exposed now. It's the same message that just be presented in a different form. We know that the Atiku's team are in the US trying to facilitate or hasten the release of that certificate, which will be used as evidence. Okay. The only problem we have here in Nigeria is that the judiciary has finished the country. Okay, the same judiciary that sat in Abuja for the tribunal and issued a very controversial judgment that is keeping Nigeria ablaze right now, they are still going to meet themselves at the Supreme Court. After all, it's the same Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, is the same person that actually set up this panel in the appeal court. Okay, I worked with the president of appeal court to set up this team that did this job, and they've done a very dirty job for APC, for INEC, and for Tinubu. And the same people are going to come together again to form the justices that will sit at the Supreme Court to list it. We've seen the 13 justices, and we've seen summary of their individual profiles, and it is obvious they are working for APC. That is the truth. We are not expecting anything good to come out of this Supreme Court appeal, but just to have it documented that the case was followed through up till Supreme Court for reference in the future. Because right now, the judgment that the tribunal has passed is causing more problems in Nigeria for treating Abuja like any other state. That means I will have 37 states, which is contrary to what we have in the Constitution. It's very, very bad. And what we have in the Electoral Act is very, very bad. And I like now that the residents of Abuja have now filed a case in court to demand for a governor and 3 senators. Exactly. And also have their own autonomy like all other states in the country. Let's see how the judiciary will interpret that. Because if you say that it's like any other state, it does not have a special status, then give them what other states are having and include them in the monthly allocation that you normally give each state. That is it. Let them have their governors, have their own structure like any other state, the governor, the legislators, which are state house of assemblies, and the judiciary, which are the state judicial workers, judicial staff. Exactly. And then have everything that every state has, the structure of the executive, the legislators, and the judiciary in the state. Let's have them, because that is what it means. So, okay, so this is what is happening here. We hope that this case will move forward. But again, we're not expecting anything better to come from this judiciary. Thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.